Hello my crafty friends. In today's video, I'm going to take this plain black mug, we pour this hot water in, watch the magic happen. And if this is something you want to see how to do, be sure to stay tuned. All right, let's hop into it. We will first start in Creative Fabrica. And in here we will put we will search for our design. So it's pink. Okay, so maybe it wasn't pink. It's actually pink glitter, ink, digital paper. Right, here we go. Perfect. This is the design right here. And as you can see that there are multiple options on here. And so our option, I will show you really quickly. Our choice is going to be this one here. So we would hit download. I've already downloaded it, so I'm not going to download it again, but you would click on download. And then once you've downloaded it, you will go over to Canva. And so we're going to go over to Canva. And on Canva, we will click a design. In this case, we're going to do custom size. Okay. We're going to have this in inches. And so we're going to go 9.5 in the width and 4.5 in the height. And then we want to create the design. Now that our design is there, we want to put our background on first. So we're going to go to Uploads, Upload File. And from here, you would locate your file. Since I've already uploaded it, we will click on the upload. From here, you want to right click with your picture selected. You're going to right click and click Set Image as Background. But I want more of the gold in, so I'm going to click on it, double click on it, and bring it down just a little bit so we're getting more of the gold. Perfect. Then you can click out of it or hit enter. Then we want to add our text. So let's go add our text. We're going to add subheadings. What I'm going to do is just add as many as I need, which is 4. And then I'm going to put them here, line them up. And we're going to add the words in a few minutes. So let's just get it set where we want it to be. There we go. All right. So that's kind of the layout. Now we're going to go to Elements. And we're going to grab a shape. We'll do a square. And we're going to size this so that we can get it to come behind the text. And fix it so that it's even, right? See, right there, perfectly centered. Now we want to go to color. So let's change the color. Click over here. And as you can see over here, it shows you the colors that are in your background. So choose which one you want. I like that one. And you'll see how we're going to see the gold that I wanted to see. We're going to come up here to transparency, click on that, and we're going to move this to about 50, 51. Let's go with 51 and see how that looks. Okay, perfect. That's what I'm looking for. Now we're going to edit our text. My day begins with 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that. And we're going to reposition. Just move that over a little bit. I don't want it over here because it'll be hard to see the my. We kind of want it there. Now we're going to change this text. So we're going to go here and click on that. The text that I'm going to use is let's go like XB, this one XB Nulafar. I'm going to change that. We're going to make it just a little bit bigger, not too much. Then we're going to come here and we're going to go dot, 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 coffee. And we're going to change that text. So we're going to highlight it. I'm going to come up here. Well, we're going to come over here. And we're going to change that to Georgia Pro. Go with that one. Definitely gonna make that a little bigger. Okay. Resize. Let's make this one a little bigger. Yeah. Let's come down here. Oh, we have to put a comma on this. And then we come here. My journal. And dot, dot, dot. Stretch it out. We're going to change this to back to the same one we did at the beginning. So it's XB Nulafar. Okay. And then here we'll put Jesus. And we're going to change the font again. And we're going to change that to this one here. And we definitely want to make that one bigger. Take a look and see if you like your design. Now, again, you can set this up the way you want it so that it meets your needs. So I'm going to bring that up just a little bit, this up just a little bit. And I'm just going to make that bigger. Okay. And then if it's to your liking, remember you can say what you want, but this is how I did the mug. Once it's down the way you want it, you want to hit share, download, and then you would save it as a PNG. So you would then hit download. Okay. Once it's downloaded, we're going to come over here to Silhouette Studio, and I'm using the free version, not the paid version. If you want to do the paid version, that's fine, but I can do what I need to do here on the free version. So we're going to click on Design. That's my grandson. Ignore that. We're going to come over here to Custom Width. Well, first we have to change this back to letter. Okay. Now we're going to do the custom width. We're going to do 9.5, 4.5. Hit enter. X out of this. To add our image, we'll go to File, Merge, and you want to go to where you stored your image. Okay, once you find your design, bring it in, and then you just resize it to fit this. Now let me just show you a few things here. With Silhouette, they put these lines. Let me show you better here. See these red lines here? Anything above that line or outside of those lines will not print. So when you size this, know that anything that would be outside of those lines won't print, but that's okay for our situation. Okay. And now you would hit print. Okay. Now we're going to um, wrap the design on our mug. So first make sure that your mug is cleaned, and I use alcohol to do that. Then you want to take your design and wrap it around, and make sure that everything is lined up, that it's all the way at the top and it's lined to where you want it to be. And you want to make sure that at the back, right by the handle, that it's even. And so I really do my best to make sure that it's even, that everything lines up perfectly, or as best to perfect as I can get it. We're not perfect. So once I'm satisfied with where it is, so you can see that it's close enough, and then I will start taping it. And when you tape, you want to pull as tight as possible to ensure that there are no gaps and no air pockets, if you will. So that, because if you do that, then you're going to end up with ghosting. So tape it all the way down on both sides. You don't have to worry about, taping it on the bottom, but you really want to make sure that it's tight and you are getting both sides taped up. And if you notice that you have an error, so you see that I noticed that I had a little mistake there. So I repositioned, reposition before you tape, because then you'll have those errors. So I'll go ahead and speed up a little bit and taping that down. And then the next thing you want to do is to protect your heat press. You want to put butcher paper. But one of the things I like to do is just to secure that it's really, really tight, is I put this piece of tape that I just wrap all the way around. And you have to be careful when doing this that you don't create the gaps. So you're really just pulling, and not too tight, but pull and then just wrap it around. And I tend to do that on the top and the bottom, but um, not always. Just depends on how tight I got it when I first initially taped it. So you'll see here I'm doing it at the bottom as well. And if you notice there, I got a little bit of bunching there, and I just fixed that with my nails so that it doesn't have those creases in the paper. Because again, those creases will cause the ghosting that you hear people talking about. And once you're satisfied with the taping, now we're going to wrap it in the butcher paper. And that butcher paper is sort of they call it the blowout paper, and that's just to protect your heat press from getting the ink that will inevitably leak out as it's pressing. So just cut it down to size and go ahead and wrap it. This doesn't have to be perfectly tight, but I try to give it that added extra tightness, just some added pressure for if, while I'm pressing it. Now, some people don't like getting as close to the handle as I did because there may be a little bit of ghosting when you're finished, but it's very minimal, and so I don't see it as being a big deal. So it's just a little bit of ghosting that you'll see that at the end. So I'm just taping up my butcher paper. Okay. See, nothing fancy. Well, sometimes I can be a little extra. You do not need as much tape as I am putting on, but I think some of that is just because I'm a little extra. Okay. And now you can see I'm using my Cricut mug press, and that's the press that I'm going to be using to, once everything lights up, we bring it down. So I'm not sure why it's freezing that way, but um, you're going to see me get it out. I didn't do the whole process, but now we'll just peel off the tape very carefully. So you can see the little line there that's just giving it a little bit of ghosting, but it's not too much. And this is very hot when it comes out that mug press. And so you can see that it is finished, and that's the finished product. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that this was helpful and you what give this a try. If you have any questions or want to know a little bit more about how to do this process, leave me a comment in the comment section and I will surely answer those questions. Until next time, have a crafty day.